Hey guys, and welcome to a review that I've been waiting for quite a while myself, and I'm the one making it. I finally got my hands on this Marvel Legends Thor. He was the start of the first wave back of Return of Marvel Legends. So let's take a look at the packaging here. It's quite nice. And this is the Terrax wave, and as you can see in the wave, it also includes Steve Rogers, Hope Summers, Extremis Iron Man, Claw, Constrictor, and Ghost Rider. Thor does not come with a part for Terrax, but everyone else there does, so if you want him, then get all of those guys. But now let's get on to Thor himself. Here he is, and as you can see, the paintwork looks great. It looks like a Marvel Select, or your sort of DC Direct kind of quality, but Marvel Legends, so as you can see, they really have upped their game since they've come back. This isn't the first version of this mould. It did come out at a Comic-Con before, but he was a sort of lightning variant, so he had lightning on Mjolnir, he had white eyes, his buttons, I guess you'd call them, are lit up, and he's got a slightly lighter coloured torso. But this one, for me, is much better, because I'd rather have him displayed normal, because that's what he is most of the time. It's only when he's super pissed that he actually is all lit up and everything. So let's take a closer look at him. The suit's detail is really nice. It's a lighter sort of blue tinted silver than the first version, which probably would have looked quite nice on that version, seeing as he was lit up there. And I've seen one review where someone actually mentioned that the boots were a lighter colour than the torso because they were meant for the other one. Well, that's obviously an issue with theirs, because as you can see, mine are the same colour, and they do look pretty good. He has really nice detail on his face. The hair's sculpted quite nice too. Really nice skin tones, bags under the eyes, wrinkles. Nice coloured eyes there. We have a nice metal effect on the helmet and on the hammer itself. That looks really worn. It's got really nice wash in there to make it look weathered. Nice brown leather detail on the handle, and then it has a strap there. Moving down, we got the belt and the boots, and now one thing I absolutely love about this guy is his cape. Not just the sculpt of it, but the colour. They haven't just gone for a plain red, as a lot of Thors have recently from Marvel. This is a little bit darker than the first version, and the Select version was just bright red, and that not looked horrible, but when you see how much more detailed this one is, you'd think that it would be swapped and this one would have the less detailed version, but they seem to have pretty much upped their game so that they can get everyone into Legends, and then they'll hopefully won't drop detail on later waves. But if they can keep up this sort of quality, then we're going to be expecting really great stuff in the years to come from Legends. And here's a close-up of the hammer itself, just so that you can see more of the detail on there. And he has storage space for it, as you can see right here once we get some focus. On the belt he has this little bit that moves. You just push it up and then close it down on it, and it'll just hold it there in place. So if you want him stood with that there, then there you go. And then if you want to remove it, just pull it out, flick that back down, done. Fits in his hand very nicely. Only his right hand can hold it. His left hand is an open hand, and that moves on to the articulation. So the wrists are on a nice little swivel here, and they can move all the way around. The elbows move 90 degrees, and they have rotation. We also have rotation at the bicep, and then we have a nice swivel on the shoulders up and down. Slightly hindered by the cape, but never mind. It is a soft, well, it's not as soft as DC capes as things go, but it moves sufficiently so you can get the arms up As you can see, the way it's moulded though, this one is further away from the shoulder, so this one can go up more, which, as you saw at the start of the video, he can hold the hammer in a better position, so that's all good. Up to the head, it is on a ball joint, but because of the hair, this is a quite hard plastic, so it is sort of hindered. Left and right is perfectly fine, but vertical movement is really hindered, just barely moving there. He has, if I move the arms up out of the way, a really good ab crunch, and he also rotates on that too. Nice soft skirt there, so you can move the legs however you want. Not much back, but forwards well, and out quite far. The knees are double jointed, and then we have side to side on the feet and up and down, but unfortunately no ankle pivot. But because of the double jointed knees and the great hips, it doesn't really suffer too much from it. And then he has the peg holes, which are needed for this guy. If you want him in quite dynamic poses, he is going to fall over. As you can see, even just from that, he's just, as soon as I let go, he's going over. The feet aren't weak or anything, but it's just because the cape isn't super soft, it's got some weight to it, so it will try and drag him down. And now for a size comparison, here is the Mark III Iron Man suit armour from the first movie. This is the prototype version, who stands at just a tad over 6 inches, and Thor, as you can see, is just about the same size, just a tiny little bit smaller than Predator, and that is from the top of these feathers on his helmet. By the actual top of his head, then he's a little bit bigger than Arnie. So really well scaled in 7-inch figure lines, but even more perfectly scaled, as he is meant to be a bigger character, in your 6-inch Legends line, and there he goes falling over, as I said. However, that time it was forwards. But that pretty much concludes this review. I would massively recommend that you go and pick this guy up. He is incredible, and welcome back, Legends. That's all I can say. He really does his part for advertising the line. Great articulation. He's by far the best version of Thor that you can get right now, aside from a statue, obviously, but I prefer figures to statues because if I get bored of the pose, I can change it whenever I want. So please go and pick this guy up. I highly recommend him. If you want to see where I got him from, which is Kapow Toys, it's a UK company, but they ship all over the world. I'll put the link in the description, or you can just click anywhere on him and that will hopefully take you to Kapow. And if you want to see any of the other figures in this review, please check out my channel and subscribe. And for more collectibles, stay tuned. See you guys.